Isekai fans, this one's dangerous. Today we're counting down 10 isekai anime that somehow dodged bad episodes entirely. No skips, no pain, just pure consistency, chaos, and surprisingly addictive world-hopping insanity from start to finish. We begin with number 10, Suicide Squad Isekai. This show had no business working as well as it did, and that's exactly why it slaps. You take DC's most unhinged criminals, yeet them into a fantasy world, and somehow it doesn't collapse into cringe. Harley Quinn stays Harley, the violence stays loud, and the isekai setting actually matters. Every episode moves with purpose, no filler wandering, no why are we here again energy. The villains are wild, but the bigger surprise is how tight the pacing is. You expect gimmicks, but instead you get consistent character chaos and legit stakes. The fantasy enemies aren't just punching bags either, they clap back hard. And yeah, it's weird watching Joker-adjacent insanity collide with magic systems, but that clash is the whole point. It's fast, flashy, and refuses to slow down. No dead episodes, no awkward dips, just pure, reckless fun that knows exactly what kind of show it is and leans into it without fear. Sliding to number 9, No Longer Allowed in Another World. This anime said, what if isekai, but depression, and somehow made it hilarious. Our main character doesn't want glory, power, or a harem. He wants peace, quiet, and honestly, to be left alone. Every episode balances dark humor with absurd fantasy encounters, and the jokes never overstay their welcome. Instead of power escalation, you get emotional whiplash, philosophical jabs, and enemies who don't know how to handle a protagonist who simply does not care. That's where the magic is. The show avoids bad episodes by constantly flipping expectations. One minute, you're laughing. The next, you're weirdly reflecting on existence like, why did that hit? Side characters don't feel disposable, and the world reacts realistically to someone who refuses the isekai script. It's oddly refreshing. No dragged arcs, no pointless training episodes, just consistent vibes, sharp writing, and humor that lands harder the longer it goes. Landing on number 8, Magic Maker How to Make Magic in Another World. This one scratches that nerdy itch in the best way possible. Instead of instant god powers, we get methodical magic building, trial and error, and actual rules. Every episode feels purposeful because progress is earned. You're watching someone reverse engineer magic like it's science homework, and somehow it stays entertaining the entire time. The show avoids bad episodes by respecting the process. No random power jumps, no because the plot said so moments. When something works, it's satisfying. When it fails, it makes sense. Side characters aren't just cheerleaders either. They challenge ideas and push development forward. The pacing stays tight, and the world building never stalls. If you're tired of isekai protagonists breathing once and becoming gods, this feels like fresh air. It's calm but never boring, smart without being pretentious, and consistent in a way that keeps you locked in episode after episode. Looking at number 7, Headhunted to Another World, From Salaryman to Big Four. Corporate life prepared him for this, and honestly, that's terrifying. This anime turns office politics into fantasy warfare, and it works way too well. Every episode feels like a business meeting where someone might get vaporized. The protagonist doesn't rely on brute force. He survives with negotiation, strategy, and psychological pressure. That alone keeps things interesting, but what really saves this from bad episodes is the escalation. Each problem builds naturally from the last. No random monster of the week nonsense. The demon executives aren't dumb either. They push back hard. The humor lands because it's grounded in relatable workplace trauma, just with more magic explosions. You never feel like an episode is wasted. Even conversations move the plot. It's one of those shows where you finish an episode and immediately go, all right, one more. And then suddenly it's 3 a.m. Consistency is the real villain here, and it never loses. Rolling into number 6, Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf, 2025. Reverse isekai done right is rare, but this one nails it. Instead of chaos overload, the show thrives on culture shock, slice-of-life comedy, and surprisingly wholesome moments. Every episode feels cozy without being dull. Miss Elf exploring modern Japan never stops being entertaining because the show keeps finding new angles: food, tech, social norms, and human awkwardness. The humor stays sharp, and the emotional beats sneak up on you. What saves it from bad episodes is balance. It doesn't drag jokes too long, and it doesn't force drama where it doesn't belong. When emotions hit, they feel earned. When comedy lands, it lands clean. There's no padding, no this episode exists just to exist. It's charming, consistent, and weirdly addictive. You come for the elf antics, and stay because the character interactions actually matter. Cracking number 5. The Water Magician. Water powers sound basic until this anime proves everyone wrong. This show understands creativity over raw strength, and every episode finds a new way to flex that idea. The protagonist isn't overpowered for free. He's smart, adaptable, and constantly thinking. That keeps the action fresh and avoids repetition. Villains don't feel like cardboard cutouts either. They force strategy, not just bigger attacks. The pacing is tight, and there's no random downtime that kills momentum. Even slower episodes push character growth or world mechanics forward. That's why there are no bad episodes here. Every arc feels intentional. It also avoids the classic Isekai trap of bloated side plots that go nowhere. Instead, everything connects. It's satisfying, clever, and consistently entertaining without screaming for attention. If you like strategic fights and steady progression, this one never drops the ball. Sliding hard into number 4, Apocalypse Bringer Minogra. This isekai said, what if you're the villain empire? And committed fully. No moral backpedaling, no last-minute hero excuses. Every episode leans into dark fantasy strategy, world domination, and cold decision-making. The consistency comes from commitment. The show knows its tone and never apologizes for it. You're watching an empire rise piece by piece, and every move has consequences. The pacing is ruthless. No filler diplomacy arcs that go nowhere. No random comedy breaks ruining tension. Even quieter episodes feel heavy because they set up future destruction. The world reacts realistically to an evil force gaining power, which keeps stakes high. And just when you think you know where it's going, it pivots. That's why it sticks. No bad episodes, just escalating dread and satisfaction for fans who love smart, unapologetic villain stories. Now at number 3, from bureaucrat to villainous, Dad's been reincarnated. This one is sneaky. It looks goofy, then suddenly you're emotionally invested. A middle-aged dad reincarnated as a villainess shouldn't work this well, but it absolutely does. The humor hits because it's rooted in parental instincts colliding with otome chaos. Every episode blends comedy with heartfelt moments, and neither overstays its welcome. There's no wasted screen time. Even misunderstandings move character relationships forward. The dad logic applied to villainous tropes creates constant subversion, keeping things fresh, and the emotional beats, they sneak up on you hard. But trust me, number 3, it'll mess with your head in the best way possible. No bad episodes because every single one balances laughs, growth, and plot progression without losing focus. It's clever, consistent, and way deeper than it pretends to be. Charging into number 2, A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai. This anime turns a side skill into a full-blown lifestyle, and it never gets boring. Instead of chasing glory, the protagonist focuses on gathering, survival, and slow world immersion. Sounds chill, right? Somehow it stays gripping every episode. That's because progression feels earned, and discoveries actually matter. The show avoids bad episodes by constantly rewarding curiosity. New areas, new resources, new challenges. Nothing feels recycled. Even downtime episodes add value, whether through crafting, exploration, or character bonding. There's no forced drama, but when conflict appears, it feels natural. The pacing stays smooth, and the world feels alive. It's the kind of show you relax with, then realize you've watched 5 episodes straight. Consistency is its superpower, and it uses it perfectly. Finally, number 1, Easygoing Territory Defense by the Optimistic Lord. This anime mastered the art of steady excellence. No spikes, no crashes, just pure consistency from episode 1. The protagonist isn't loud, edgy, or absurdly overpowered. He's optimistic, smart, and shockingly effective. Every episode builds the territory logically, balancing defense, politics, and character growth. There's no filler. Even slower episodes advance the plot or deepen relationships. The enemies feel threatening because the show respects strategy over spectacle. What really locks this in as number 1 is tone control. It never tries to be something it's not. Calm doesn't mean boring here. It means confident. You trust the story, and it rewards that trust every single episode. No bad episodes, no excuses. Just clean writing, strong pacing, and an isekai that understands consistency beats chaos every time. And that's the list. 10 isekai anime that stayed consistent and never fumbled an episode. If you agree, disagree, or think I missed a sleeper hit, drop it in the comments. Like the video, subscribe for more anime chaos, and stick around because the next countdown might start a war.